I decided to make my first cooking video. I am not exactly back into the kitchen just yet from my surgery, but I thought I would give a try on a very simple recipe that is going viral all over the internet, and I'm sure you've all have seen it, probably already tried it. I'm a little behind. But we're gonna make the Tik Tok pasta, which is basically a baked tomato and feta mixture that is mixed into a pasta. So I'm making my own spin on it because that's how I roll. I am using these sangria tomato medley from Trader Joe's. You'll see a lot of references for Trader Joe's in this particular one. I'm going to use this vegetable pasta. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that today. I'm going to put a little bit of chili onion crunch in mine from Trader Joe's as well. I do not have fresh basil today. I think I have some fresh spinach in there, so I might add that if I do still have it. But I've got some parsley flakes and some Italian seasoning that I'll add. And then I have a flavored olive oil from a local place, the Spicy Olive, that I will use as the olive oil base for this, which will incorporate a little bit more flavor. And then I'm going to add a little bit of chopped onion. It's just slivered onions, and I'm using the Trader Joe's authentic Greek feta in brine. Their actual just block feta on its own that's not in the brine was sold out, most likely because of this particular recipe that's going all over the internet. So the thing I like about this one is you essentially, you take your baking dish. I'm gonna dump my tomatoes in here. In the recycle, excuse the mess in my kitchen. As you know, I have been a little out of commission lately, so I've got my tomatoes in here. It also calls for fresh garlic, so I'm going to take this as a moment over here to my fridge and give a shout out to a product that I use constantly. So these are Dorit crushed garlic cubes. Oop, that's not going to be enough. There's only 2 left. We use these all the time. We buy them at Trader Joe's. I have always been an advocate for fresh garlic. I do not like the minced kind that you can buy that's already pre-chopped in the refrigerated sections. I don't like the pastes. I don't like anything but fresh garlic. We decided to try these years ago when we started shopping at Trader Joe's. And the thing I like best about them is it's literally just garlic that's already been in a paste. It does have a little bit of salt and oil in it, but the flavor tastes just like you're using fresh garlic, and it's minced so well. It's better than I could possibly chop it, even better than using a garlic press. So while I'm not an advocate for like the minced garlic mixes, I am a big advocate for this because I hate chopping garlic. I hate having chunks of garlic. So give this a shot. I mean, 1 cube is the equivalent to a garlic clove. We like a lot of garlic in our household, so we tend to use a lot of this, as you could see. I buy like 4 of these at a time, and they stay in the freezer. So that's another thing. I don't have garlic going bad if we're kind of in a rut of not cooking fresh ingredients very often. So I'm actually going to drop, it calls for 4 cloves of garlic. I'm probably going to put at least 6 of these cubes, and they'll just be kind of randomly throughout the tomatoes. And I will also add my onions, and then I'll put the block feta in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of that, and then I will pick up the video right after I do that. All right, so I've assembled all my ingredients into the pan. As you can see here, this is my finished result before it goes into the oven. I'm just waiting for my oven to come up to a 400-degree temperature. I did, because my feta cheese was soaked in brine, I dried it with a paper towel. I just patted it dry. It's actually 2 blocks of feta that was in there, so I just stacked them on top of each other. Hopefully that's right. But I patted them dry because I know that if things are wet, they'll do more of a steam than a brown, and I know this is supposed to kind of caramelize the cheese a little bit. So I also put a few dollops of the chili onion crunch, kosher or sea salt, fresh ground pepper, my parsley flake, and Italian seasoning, which I'm not a huge advocate of dry herbs for something like this. I probably would have preferred fresh basil, but I wasn't about to make my husband go out to a different store for it, so we'll survive. I do want to take a moment and give a shout out to this chili onion crunch from Trader Joe's because I love this stuff. It was one of those that went crazy, you know, with all the fan groups for a while. I love it on pizza. It's great on eggs. But it has like red pepper flake, like chunks of crunchy garlic bits. And even though it's called chili onion crunch, it's more of a garlicky taste that you get. And so I thought that would be perfect with this because this normally calls for red pepper flake. So I would rather use ones that have been soaked in oil than just dried red pepper flake. Oh, my oven is ready. I also want to give mention to one of my favorite kitchen gadgets that I used in between the video is this stainless steel. It looks like a bar soap, but it literally is just stainless steel. This thing, if you ever see one in a kitchen gadget store, do not pass it up because as crazy as it sounds, it does wonders for getting smells out of your hands. So you use it after washing your hands. You kind of rub your hands around it like you're washing hands with a bar of soap. You rub it around your hands. And it literally will take the odors of garlic, onion, fish, all those smells that even though you wash your hands clean, they still tend to linger. It pulls those right out of you immediately. So I did use it because I chopped the onion. And even though those garlic cubes I don't have to chop, when I pluck them out from those trays that I showed, it does end up getting a little touch on your fingers. And then you end up smelling like garlic for the rest of your life. So wonderful tool. Definitely get one. So I'm going to put this in the oven. I think it's supposed to take like 35 to 45 minutes, basically until all of my tomatoes have roasted up nicely and kind of blistered, opened, and then my cheese should be nice and soft. And when it gets close to being done, I will cook up my pasta to a nice al dente, drain it. And then what happens is you stir this together and mix it in with the pasta, and this is supposed to become almost like its own sauce, like a creaminess. So that is what I'm going to be doing next. Stay tuned. All right, so I just pulled my tomato and feta mixture out of the oven, and it looks beautiful. It smells wonderful. I still have a few more minutes left on my pasta to cook. Apparently I didn't quite time that up, but I'm going to do this kind of breaking down the feta and stirring this around. I know the recipe mentions that in some cases you might have to add some pasta water. I don't know that I will need to do that because I have a lot of moisture and oil in here still, so I think I'm going to be good. But look at that. Yeah, it gets nice and creamy. Beautiful. I think this is going to be delicious. Last night my husband cooked up some chicken. He just baked it, roasted it. Basically because it needed to get cooked up, but we didn't have it on the meal plan for yesterday. So what I'm going to do tonight is I sliced and chopped up some of the chicken, and I'll kind of add that back to my pot with this sauce and the pasta to kind of allow it to heat through. And so it will be a nice chicken pasta. I have a feeling my husband will not like this. He's not a feta fan. I'm hoping he will at least try it. I am a big advocate for try everything once, and even if you don't like a component of it, you got to try it because you've never tried it in that recipe, and that's how we try to raise our kids too. Doesn't always work with kids, but we try. But I try to get him to do it too, just to set an example. So we'll see if he will at least try a bite of this, but he's not confident that he will be eating this as the dinner. So just about done with the pasta, and we will finish putting this together. All right, we are stirring up the finished product. So this is the pasta. I did add a handful of spinach, added probably about 2 ladlefuls of the pasta water to this just to kind of loosen it up a bit. Now we're combining it, and we'll serve this. I already added the chicken too, so the chicken's getting heated through. And then we have garlic knots in the oven to go with it. So hopefully, at least the kiddos and me will enjoy this, and at least hopefully my husband will try it. We'll see, right? All right, well, bon appetit. All right, so I am tasting my Tik Tok pasta, which I think it's always going to be known as Tik Tok pasta from here on out, just because that is how the world works now. And I must say, so give a little view. I'm not having a very big plate because I don't feel good. Pain is kind of heavy right now, so it's depleting my hunger. But this is delicious. It's weird that a creamy sauce with such a depth of flavor wasn't even made it like a sauce. Like, it just basically baked. Well, we're gonna have. Apparently Mira approves too. You want more? Oh, did I just fling that on the floor? Here, you can have another one. There you go. Sorry. She approves. But my fleeing skills from the fork are top notch. Yeah, it is delicious. It was very easy. It's something even I can do recovering from surgery, because literally you put it in the oven and you stir it. No-brainer recipe. I love to cook. I love to invent new recipes. This is one, You want another bite? I'm going to eat all mine up instead of having yours. This is one even a very beginner cook could handle. And it definitely tastes like something you'd get in a restaurant. So 2 thumbs up, 4 thumbs up if you count Mira Marie. So bon appetit. Enjoy.